This is the Emerson TKF-1 or Tim Kennedy Folder 1. This is a knife made by Ernest Emerson for and with Tim Kennedy, and it is awesome. If you don't know who Tim Kennedy is, you probably know who Tim Kennedy is. You've seen him on Joe Rogan, you've seen him on Sean Ryan, you've seen him in the Octagon, you've seen him rescuing people from Afghanistan that were left behind. Tim Kennedy is a Renaissance man, Green Beret, MMA fighter, commentary guy, and lots more than that. Very interesting dude, and very, very interesting to listen to in conversation. I like hearing about the exploits of people who have defended our nation on my behalf, on my family's behalf. And anyway, this is a knife that came out of his mind and Ernest Emerson's mind. I think he approached Emerson and said, I want you to make me a knife. Emerson came back and said, it's going to be a no-nonsense folder. That's what we do, no-nonsense tactical folders. And he said, yep, that's exactly what I want. Make it 4 inches and stabby. And 4 inches and stabby it is indeed. You got this long clip point blade. Almost reminds me of like a Bagwell style Bowie, where it's just long and thin and great for fighting. It's a thrusting knife, that Bagwell Bowie, but also, on that thing, if you use it with the back cuts on a Bowie, even though it's long and straight, it's still going to gash and gouge with that tip. But here, that tip is great for penetration. It's right, very stout, very sharp, but chisel edged. And so chisel edges freak people out, but they're pretty awesome actually. Here's a regular edge and a V. A chisel edge is that. So you're taking a regular edge in half basically, and it's super sharp. It might take an instant to readjust to how it tracks through material. Like if you're cutting leather with this or even cutting cardboard with it, it might take you an instant to adjust how it's going through the material, but probably not even. Now, if it's chisel ground entirely and the one whole side is flat and the other side is beveled, well, yeah, that'll take an instant. That'll take a little bit of adjustment. But a chisel ground edge is wickedly, wickedly sharp. And the idea, anyway, is that it's easier to field sharpen because you only have one side to field sharpen. I don't know how I feel about that exactly. I haven't been in that situation, so I don't know, but it stands to reason. Anyway, so this is the typical and, the tried and true Emerson formula: black G10 over titanium liners, liner lock, single-sided right-hand clip. We've got the same classic clip as always. The only change in this clip over the years has been they added Emerson at some point. But that's that typical Benchmade style clip. You've got your jimping up here. No wave. That is the 800-pound gorilla in the room. This is my first Emerson knife without a wave, and I don't miss it. I love the wave, but it's not a deal breaker not to have it. On this knife, it's nice and sleek. I think with a wave, it might disrupt the lines of it. And I'm superficial. I like the looks of the knife. That is important to me. Thumb plate, or thumb disc, I guess I should say, number 364. There's Tim Kennedy's maker's mark or logo there, next to the very cool Emerson logo. One of the few stickers I have on my car is an Emerson knife logo. I just think it's cool, and I love Emerson knives, obviously. I like you can see the lines there in the bevel. Super sharp, long, thin, and stabby. 154 cm blade steel, one of my favorites ever, and will be good for field expedient sharpening, I would imagine, because it's a pretty easy steel to sharpen, very corrosion resistant, and also holds its edge really well, especially that might be counterintuitive if I say it sharpens up easily and holds its edge well, but it does, in my estimation. Let me show you this with a couple of other knives from the Emerson lineup. Here it is with a Super 15, Super CQC 15. The Super prefix just means it's a little bit bigger, not too much. But the general size of most Emerson blades is about 3.8 inches. The Supers bring them to like 4.1, I think. There we go with that. Here's the original, or the first one I ever got, I should say. Not Emerson original, but the 2000 Commander. Here it is with probably my favorite Emerson of all time, the Sax. If I'm being honest, this is my favorite for sentimental reasons, and I do love a good recurve, but this one, I just love it. And then here's the 13. Such a beautiful Bowie blade here with that with the serrations, making it extra nasty. And then I have Vantage Point Blade Works micarta scales on there. Tom Engelson. He does great work. And this is some of his early work. You should see what he's doing now. He specializes in Emersons, but does some other knives too. Yeah, this thing is awesome. I love this knife. I got it in a trade. My buddy Ian, who teaches me martial arts, wanted a holdout, 6-inch cold steel holdout back in his collection with, he doesn't collect, he just carries, with the serrations, and I had one, and so we traded that, and then I threw in a Dirk Pinkerton Night Horse in there just to even up the score, because I was definitely coming out on top. I still did, but he's cool about it, and so we're both cool about it. What a cool knife. All right, so this is the Emerson TKF-1, the Tim Kennedy folder. If you have the desire or the means, I highly recommend you check it out. All right, take care.